Hey, good evening, everyone. Told you guys last week when I did the upload for the Jordan 4 Undefeateds, I was going to have another upload today for you guys. I'm a little groggy. I had to, um, anyway, just kind of had a, ended up getting a last minute massage. The place opened up a spot and I went and got it done, and just didn't realize how tired I was. Slept all the way through it, and I'm just a little groggy right now. But before I get back to work, I want to go ahead and do this unboxing real quick, show you guys what I picked up, and then that way I can go ahead and put these up so that they're not, in the way in my office. So, mentioned to you guys I was gonna have a special treat coming. This particular shoe, I have been debating whether or not I was gonna pull the trigger on them for the last 2 years. When they originally dropped, I was just kind of like I was in the sneakers for a couple years before these dropped. I just wasn't aware of all the different ways or methods for copping shoes. So I ended up missing out on a lot of raffles for this shoe. I ended up missing out on the sneakers app because I went in on the draw. They immediately sold out. In a couple of places that I did find out had raffles, I didn't win on those raffles. And the morning they released on the sneakers app, the resale value had only went up to about $325. And I was like, no, ain't no way this shoe gonna stay this high. But it went up in like the sixes, the fives, and the sixes after the release. But over like the last year, they've come down slightly, but still haven't come down as much, but have come down some, which is good. So I ended up picking these up from a resale store out in California called Holy Ground. If you guys never heard of them, they have their own YouTube channel, and they resell sneakers or whatever. You can even send them sneakers, and if you're out of state, if you're not in California, you can send them sneakers, and they'll appraise the shoes, let you know how much they'll give you for them, or send you shoes as a trade-in for those particular shoes that you send to them. But I have been thinking about getting the Jordan 1 Unions from them for quite some time, and that isn't the shoe that's in here, but I had thought about getting those. They ended up selling out of my size or whatever, maybe about a month ago, so I was kind of bummed about it. Then I saw another pair of shoes there, which is the Spider-Man Origins, the Jordan 1s. I was like, oh man, I got the second pair that they did. I was like, I really wanted the first pair, the Origins, but they sold out of those too. So so those two shoes, so I guess they're still selling out a lot in the resale market. But this particular shoe, I was contemplating, like, should I do it? And I was like, you know what? They're having a sale for Labor Day. Might as well pick these up while they're on sale before the price goes back up. So after the cost of the shoe, the shipping, the tax, everything all together, it was, slightly cheaper than GOAT and StockX. So I was like, okay, that's, a pretty good deal considering how much I would have had to pay. I would have to pay maybe like an extra $50 to $70 if I'd have went to StockX or GOAT. So it was a deal I couldn't pass up, so I went ahead and grabbed them. I still had to pay a pretty penny for these, but what I ended up doing was, with PayPal, if you use PayPal, they give you 6 months no interest. So I was like, okay, I'll throw it on my PayPal and just pay on it while it's at no interest over 6 months and pay it off. And then what I'm also going to do, I got a double up on a shoe recently that I told you guys about. I did the video on that, but that particular shoe that I got the double up on, I'm going to send that shoe back to get the money back, and that'll cover about 60 or 70% of the cost of this shoe. But without further delay, let me go ahead and open it. And when I open it, you guys will know why I'm sending back the double up that I told you guys about anyway. So let me open this up and let you guys see them. And then if you're reading the thumbnail too, like, you're probably going to know what it is. I'm not really sure what the thumbnail is going to be just yet. I don't know if I'm going to leave it a mystery and just have y'all open up the video and then you find out what the shoe is. I'm not sure yet, but we'll kind of figure that part out as I'm uploading the video. I'll figure that out and kind of figure that part out. But without further delay, let me show you guys what's in here. This shoe released back in 2023. I believe around summertime of 23 was when these dropped. So like I said, it's been around 2 years. And if you know about the double up that I got on the other colorway of the shoe, you'll know why I'm sending the other pair back. So if you recognize this box, then you know what this is. Says here, let me cover up. I didn't mean to put the sticker tab on the camera. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. Y'all might have saw it. My camera person didn't see it yet. But anyway, this reads Air Jordan 4 Retro SP Sail/White Pine Green. So you guys already know what this is. I'm going to take the lid off so that I'm not showing the price on them. But like I told you guys, I had got the double up on the other colorway. So that's why I'm sending the double up back. But finally pulled the trigger on the Jordan 4 SP Pine Greens. Had to cop these. I got the Jordan 4 Jordan 4, I'm about to say Pine Green Navies. I got the Jordan 4 Navies. I got a double up on those. So I had to get these. I'm going to send back my second pair from the double up on the navies. Send those back. Use the money that I'm getting back for that to help cover the cost of this shoe. I was like, since I got these in hand, really no point in me keeping two pairs of the navies when I can just have one pair of the pine greens, one pair of the navies. But this is the left shoe here. Let's take a look at what we got. Just looking at this shoe, because I can't believe I got them in hand. This shoe does have a price tag on the bottom. Like I said, I don't want to really necessarily put the price on here, but if you guys go on their website, you'll know what I paid for the shoe anyway. But they had this left shoe out, I guess, as a display. That's why it has a price tag on the bottom. But it's still not a lot of damage or nothing like that to the shoe, even though it was a display momentarily. Because they had just got my size in a little while ago, so I guess they threw it up on the shelf, and then I bought it right, as soon as they ended up having it. Because the first time they had my size, they sold out, and then I ended up picking these up, so they wasn't on the shelf for too long. But here's the right shoe, and these are kind of like, when these shoes came out, the team at Nike, the SB team, worked really, really hard to make sure that the shape of this shoe matched the OG Jordan 4s. And then when this particular shoe came out, after this shoe dropped, all the Jordan 4s that came after that, they changed the shape to mimic the shape of these, because they did such a good job of making the shape of these and making them more comfortable and making sure, that they fit the right way and it wasn't hurting your pinky toe or whatever. So when they came out with the reimagined Jordan 4 Breds with the military blues, they changed the shape to match the shape of these. So that was a good thing. These were the first ones where they did the heel tab, where you can do that on the heel tab. The heel tabs are really, really loose. I mean, really, really flimsy, so they don't hurt your ankles when you got them on. I'll use this right pair for a second. So with the shoe here, it's got the same gray coming across the foot of the shoe, just like the SB Pine Green. I'm sorry, just like the SB Navies, and just like the military force, it's got that little gray around the toe box. The eyelets here is that pine green. The Jumpman is red with Flight being green. The bottom of the shoe has that gum sole to help you, give you some traction when you're skateboarding. The rest of it is all white with a red Nike sign there. The air bubble is red. And inside of the shoe, the insole is red with Nike SB on it. And it's got the little, size 10 size tag in there. Inside the shoe, the sock liner is white, and the inside the tongue is pine green with Air Jordan upside down. Both shoes have Air Jordan on the inside behind the tongue, so no difference between the two shoes. But yeah, and then along the outsole, it's all white, and then it's got the green accents there, pine green. The rest of the shoe is pretty much white. Outside of that, I do have a pair of pine green laces that I just had, from a couple of years ago. I'm going to take those and throw those into here and kind of make them pop a little bit instead of just using the regular white laces. But definitely glad that I was finally able to get these in the collection. Like I said, they were a pretty penny, but at the end of the day, if you want something, sometimes you gotta pay a little more for it. But like I said, I'm sending the other pair back, and I might even send back my Kobe 6s Total Oranges. I don't even know if I'm really want those anymore. I might send those back. If I send those back and the SB Navies, it'll cover the cost of this shoe completely. So thinking about doing that, definitely sending back the second pair to double up that I got for the Navies. But just want to do a really, really quick unboxing of this shoe. And like I said, these shoes are 2 years old as far as when they actually released. They're dead stock. They haven't been worn. But of course, since they are 2 years old, they had to be inspected when they got resold. The previous owner touched all on them or whatever. So it's not like a shoe where you're just pulling it out the box coming straight from Nike. It's been on their shelf, like I said, for maybe a week or two before I got them, because they had a size 10 in these before and they sold it, and then they got another pair about a month ago. I was thinking about buying them. They had a 10, they sold it, and then like a week and a half ago or whatever, right before Labor Day, they ended up getting another 10, and that's when I copped it as soon as they got it. But like I said, because it's been 2 years old, it doesn't have any wrinkles or anything like that. You can tell it hasn't been worn or anything, but you can look at it and tell that it has been, on a shelf or whatever for a display, whatever. So, like I said, it's got that look where you can tell they've been, having to be in a shoebox for a couple of years. They're not going to completely look like I said, a brand new shoe right out the box, because people probably came in the shoe store, picked them up, looked at them, touched them or whatever. But like I said, there's no creases, no visible signs of wear. They were being sold as being dead stock. They look brand new. So I'm happy on my end. At this point, there's only maybe like 3 more shoes from this year that I definitely got to get over the next 12 months. That's the Band Jordan 1s, the Jordan 10s that came out this year, the Steels, and the Jordan 1 Union Chicago's that came out. Those 3 shoes I got to get my hands on between now and next summer. I'll figure out a way to work them in the budget or whatever, because I got to do all 3 of those on resale. So we'll see what happens. But that'll probably be like my last 3 pair of shoes to add to my collection before I completely retire from collecting. I do have a bunch of pairs that I got for sale on Poshmark, and I've been giving my son a few pairs for his birthday. He actually wears the same size as me now, so that's crazy to even think about, because I remember he was just a little bitty little boy. But I've been giving him a few pairs for him to wear too for school or whatever. So a few of my pairs will be going to him, so that'll kind of dwindle down my collection a little bit and kind of maybe give me a reason to get a couple of replacements. But thank you guys for tuning in. Please enjoy your night. I got to get back to work. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and you be blessed and be safe out there. And also, before I forget, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please like this video. Doesn't cost anything. Please subscribe if you can. I'm just a regular family guy. Got kids, wife, work full time, do this sneaker thing, as a hobby. I love sneakers. Couldn't afford them when I was younger. So I get them now because I have the ability to do that. I'm just a regular guy. And what I'm going to start doing too is, we all can't buy every sneaker that's dropping. I definitely can't buy every sneaker that's dropping. Especially I am in like the triple digits for how many pairs of sneakers that I have. So I definitely got to slow down. I'm definitely going to be slowing down and put my money elsewhere. But I will start actually doing videos just kind of talking about different releases that are going to be coming out, as opposed to actually having the shoe, because I got to slow down with buying these shoes. There's just too many other things I got to be doing. Like I said, like I don't buy shoes and then miss a car payment or buy some shoes and my lights are going out or nothing like that. This has definitely been something I've been able to do financially. without a problem. But as my kids are getting older, different things that I want to do for them, like college funds and stuff like that, I got to start making that more of a priority. And like I said, I'm going to probably start, making this channel being more for like financial advice, tax advice, stuff like that, other things that I'm into or that I do on a normal day-to-day basis, and kind of incorporating that into the channel, and kind of, talking about the sneakers that I get from here and there, but at the same time, kind of talking about a lot of the releases that are going to be dropping. But again, guys, appreciate you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to have you guys subscribe to the channel. And you guys have a blessed day, and I really appreciate you. Good night.